Welcome back to Charlie Brown Politics. I'm Charles Brown. We got a wild video for you today. It's going to show why this country needs Medicare for all. I didn't even know what we're about to watch was even possible or that hospitals are even doing this. It's a video of a hospital in Louisville, Kentucky, throwing people out on the street, throwing homeless out on the street. And let's just get right into it, guys.
Disturbing scenes on our streets, triggering calls to the wave troubleshooters alleging patient dumping by local hospitals. Two different $2 million plus patient dumping jury verdicts recently in Kentucky caught our eye. But what really got our attention was where calls to our newsroom led us when we began following up on the complaints. This story begins December 1st at 5 p.m. with a phone call to our newsroom from a horrified University Hospital employee claiming security had just wheeled a woman all the way out to the corner of Hancock and Ali, just off hospital property, dumped the elderly woman out of the wheelchair on the sidewalk, and left. Minutes later, we shot video of her, still in a...
Is this for real? This person looks like they're deceased. In the middle of December, I think they said the temperature was in the 30s. They dumped this person out of a wheelchair. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. How are we allowing this to happen?
A soiled hospital gown and slippers, breathing hard under a blanket placed over her in 36-degree weather, her stuff in a bag next to her. The employee claimed she sees this a lot. So I started watching.
How
and
often?
On December 16th at 7 p.m., 35 degrees outside, I record 3 security guards surrounding an elderly woman with a walker, slowly escorting her out of the emergency room. She can't move fast. It takes several minutes to make it all the way to the same corner of Hancock and Ali. After they have her across the street, off the hospital property, the security guards turn around and go back. When they clear, I catch up to her, and she says she can't breathe.
They told me that I could not stay on the premises.
Amen. Were you in there as a patient?
Well,
And is this in everybody's state? In my state, we have a hospital that will treat the poor, but that's like only one hospital in the whole state. So people in my state are screwed if they're not within that location of said hospital. And so I wonder how it is in your guys' state.
I needed to be a patient because I'm sick.
What's wrong with you?
I've got COPD. I got diabetes.
So they wouldn't even treat you?
The doctor talked to me for 1 minute.
And they told you what?
That I had to leave.
She had to leave because she had no money, right? Only health care for people with money.
What reason did he give you?
He didn't give me a reason.
She tells me she's homeless.
I've got to go because I'm hurting. I'm in pain.
Did you hear that? She literally just said she's in pain. We have people out here who are homeless, in pain, and need help, and we are turning a blind eye. How can we let this happen, guys? Let's continue.
I was in a car crash, and it completely shattered my hip and pelvis. Right here, I got like 30-something screwed.
Matthew Hauber and his mother claim a similar story. They met us in front of Wayside Mission in the spot where they say he was dumped in October.
Anywhere. And they said, well, we can't find a rehab right now.
Linda Hauber said when Norton Hospital told her they had a room lined up for Matthew at Wayside, she checked it out.
I called Wayside Christian Mission and just to confirm, and they said no. They said we can't do that. We can't. They have beds and they help them find jobs and stuff, but we don't take medically needy people. We don't do that. And
then she says she had a conference call with the hospital staff.
the social worker said, we're going to take him to a shelter. And I said, which one? And they said, Wayside Christian Mission. And I said, well, I know that's not true because I called them and they don't take him. And then the lady said, the social worker said, Well, that's history. Let's think of something else.
Hauber says the next day, her son was unloaded from a transport vehicle on the curb in the rain on Jackson Street in front of Wayside.
I thought they've dumped my garbage. I have to put out to the curb. That's how they dumped my son. Like garbage.
Wow, this is just unbelievable. And let's not forget, everyone, 40,000 people die every year from lack of health care. You know, we got people with health insurance that can't afford health care. I've gone over it before.
Garbage.
Linda Hauber said she was in no shape to care for him at home, and she died after this interview.
Oh my
There's stuff on the sidewalk over
God.
there. They dump them off over here on the sidewalk and get back in that vehicle and get out here just as fast as they can.
Wayside staffer Perry Lane helped Matthew out of the rain and says he witnesses the same kind of thing dozens of times per year from hospitals as far away as
Dozens of times per year. We are one of the richest nations in the world. How are we allowing this to happen to our own citizens? Come on, this is unbelievable.
Eastern Kentucky. He says they're often lied to about the medical treatment they'll receive at the shelter.
What's the worst physical shape you've seen somebody in who was dumped? This guy here was pretty bad.
Paralyzed. People that can't walk. That are totally relied on a wheelchair. Take them out, put them in the wheelchair, throw all their stuff on it, and take off.
Wayside's Chief Operating Officer Nina.
They just asked this guy, what's the worst condition you've seen someone put out on the street? And he literally just said someone who was paralyzed. Guys, I don't even know what to say to that.
Mosley tells me it's not uncommon. She says they're not trained medically, and sometimes they take patients right back to the hospitals.
How can you dump people? These are human beings. How can you just dump them and leave them? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's unhuman, man.
It doesn't make any sense, guys. It really doesn't, okay? Once again, 40,000 people dying of lack of health care in this country. How can you watch this and still think that we don't need Medicare for all? It's cheaper. The study by the Koch brothers proved that Medicare for all would be cheaper than the system that we already have. What else can I say, guys? This one was pretty hard to watch, pretty heartbreaking. Let me know if this type of stuff is going on in your state. And once again, this is why we need Medicare for all in this country. So like, subscribe, guys. Please comment down below, and I will see you on the next video, okay?